Okay, so here's what's going on.
Is anyone out there still?
Um, Total failure. Absolute total failure. I'm actually gonna turn it this way. Does that mess everything up? Oh, I can't turn while I'm live. All right, well, I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Okay, so
Hey y'all, long time no see. Sorry about that.
hey everybody.
But we're here. Hopefully somebody else is here too.
We're here for good.
We'll jump into it because we wasted enough of your time.
Yes.
How about that? Hope everyone's doing well.
Absolutely. So I just completely lost my train of thought. So huge shout out to the town of Jamestown, New York. Last week we were on the road all week doing a salvage up there. That was technically our first salvage of season 11.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it's our first and second salvage of season 11.
Right. We'll getting 2 episodes out of that one. And that's right, y'all. We have started filming for season 11.
That's crazy. It's
crazy.
I'm not even done with season 10 yet.
Crazy.
So the town truly opened up arms for us. It was unreal. We don't draw attention to us when we're traveling because we obviously, for safety reasons, need to make sure everyone is okay. You know, no one wants to come on site and get hurt or whatever. So, but
Right.
people just showed up and they brought gifts, they brought hugs, they took pictures. And the Chautauqua County Land Bank was the owner of the property that we were working on.
Mhm.
And they truly showed us, I mean, just a huge welcome. On Thursday night, they threw us a big party.
Yeah. Shout out to
And-
Gina being an incredible host.
That's right. And Jennifer for her amazing cooking that she did. She prepared a full spread for us.
So,
Oh my gosh, we're still talking about it. It was so good.
yeah, it was amazing. So the building, well, I want to get back to that winery thing here in a second, but the building we were there salvaging was built in late 1800s.
Yeah, I think it was done in like 1900.
Okay, like the year 1900. And it was renovated twice, once in the 30s, once in the 70s. And when the Moose Lodge renovated it in the 70s, they butchered it.
Yeah, they definitely did.
We don't say that to talk bad about the
addition in
Moose
the
Lodge,
30s.
but the people involved in that project really butchered a beautiful house. So we were there to basically do archaeology.
The addition in the 30s was good as far as the salvage is concerned, but you turned a mansion into a commercial space. So it was kind of already on that path. And in the 70s, they had a need, you know, you have a building and it doesn't suit your needs, so you make it work. And so, I mean, you know, they weren't thinking of us.
Right. No.
You know, 50 years ago when they were like, let's, you know, change this up. So anyways, yeah, we, you know, but the meat of the house was still there, and we had our work cut out for us as always.
It was kind of buried, really. They had bricked in a wraparound front porch.
Yeah.
Which don't do that. If you're ever faced with the choice of do I do that or not do that, don't do that.
It was nice brick though. They used good brick.
They did use brick and they matched it to the existing brick.
Yeah,
so
I give them that.
You know, shout out kinda to the builders.
He tried.
So, but like she said, we're getting 2 episodes out of that for season 11, which would be cool because it was just that much stuff. There was a lot of stuff inside, a lot of stuff outside. We did some high wire things. We got some stone work.
Yeah.
Really.
The picture that Tay had on our first 2 live streams, if you saw that, was of he and I on this 80-foot lift. I mean, we were almost extended all the way up. So I don't know if you can tell how high off the ground we are in that picture, but we were really high off the ground.
It was cool. Big house. I mean, it was all terracotta roofing. But while we were up there, we got to see not only the house, but the town of Jamestown. And for those of you, a little trivia about Jamestown. Jamestown was the home of Lucille Ball.
That's right.
She moved out when she was pretty young, but still, that's where she was from.
And she always kept it in her heart. You know, she wanted to bring comedy back to Jamestown.
And speaking of comedy, the National Comedy Center is located in Jamestown. And we were given a tour of that place. And
it is so cool. Oh my gosh,
amazing.
it is so cool. If you've never been and you're in the area, or if you've got, you know, time to go, I highly recommend it. We did not have enough time to go through. It's super interactive. It's brand new, state of the art. The technology involved in this is unlike any other museum.
It's insane. It's completely interactive. You get these bracelets with RFID patches on them, and as you go through, you scan them, and it personalizes your museum experience to you. Yeah. Which is pretty wild.
So you're getting the comedy you like to hear, and then you're also learning about that comedy too. So it's you know, it's more than just the history of comedy. It goes into the different styles, the different famous people over the years, and
the checkpoints over the years and revolutions.
There's even like a 18 years and older basement room.
The blue room, the Bud Light room.
The bad, the naughty comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, all the explicit, because comedy for a while, being that vulgar, I suppose, on stage or in the public eye was
illegal.
Illegal for a while.
Went to jail for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so they did a cool segment about the people that kept pushing the boundaries and brought comedy to what it is today. So I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan. When Bill Burr, Tom Segura, some of the good ones these days, but also, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, the icons. It goes through all that stuff and does a deep dive on all of them. So if you're in Jamestown,
I'm going back to Jamestown and I'm going back to the New Comedy Center.
We didn't get as much time as I would have liked to explore it, but the little bit of time we were there, it was amazing. It's a long drive though. I think for us,
yeah,
we took the long route, I think, but it's all long. It was about a 9-hour drive to Jamestown, which is funny because to like New York City, it's only 7.5. So it's
way
up
western
there.
New York.
It's right there by Erie, Lake Erie. So, again, huge shout out to Jamestown. But yeah, Thursday we were done working, and then we were taken to. Do you remember the name of that winery?
The Johnson Estate Winery.
The Johnson Estate Winery, like 2 counties over from Jamestown. It's the biggest concentration of grapes outside of California.
The whole region of New York, Western region. Yeah,
it was amazing. But what was it, Jennifer? Friend of Gina or friend of the winery?
Jennifer.
They all know each other.
Well, there's a Jennifer from the winery.
Got it.
And then there's a Jennifer from the Chautauqua Land Bank. And so Jennifer that made the food worked for the land bank.
Yeah, and they had us over, and the winery is beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the names of the people that own it, but
Fred and Jennifer.
So Fred is 3rd generation grape grower and winery.
He calls himself a farmer, which is so humble.
Farmer, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he is, but he's a lot more than that.
Anybody who's been out that way, I'm sure you guys know the Johnson Estate Winery, but they treated us to wings.
Delicious.
Pierogies and
pigs in a blanket, aka stuffed cabbage.
Oh yeah,
sauerkraut,
beer, wine.
Sausage.
So we
urban bar.
It's just incredibly amazing and humbling. And
we're not used to that kind of treatment.
No.
We were just blown away.
Yeah, that's not what we're used to. Getting Chinese takeout in the lobby of the hotel.
Get in, work, get out. Yeah.
So it was nice to slow down and spend some time soaking up the local.
Flavor
in many senses of the word. So shout out to everybody over there.
And we did have some Southern Tier Brewery. I remember somebody asked about that.
Oh yeah,
we were drinking it all week. It was delicious.
Yeah,
took some home with us too.
You can get it here. I've gotten it here before.
I thought I had too. Yeah.
So that was last week, and last week we built a desk out of an airplane. I don't know if anybody saw that.
Well, no. So now we're moving on to the episode that aired last week. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm blending thoughts.
Yeah,
that's why you're here.
That's all I'm good for. You're good at planning ahead.
You are good for so much more than that. Tell her, folks, she's awesome.
No.
Some other things in Jamestown were the Lakeview Cemetery, where the Lady in Glass is. They actually encased a headstone because it was being eroded. It was a memorial.
Right.
And the Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz Museum is a more traditional comedy museum experience. But so first episode of season 11 kicking off with a bang. We had such a good time in Jamestown.
Yes, we did.
And
weather was perfect too for once.
It was great, and apparently a fluke for up there.
It had rained or snowed on Sunday, and then it was like sunny and 60 the rest of the week. I mean, we couldn't have had any.
Look at everyone throwing you love over here. Hell yeah. Oh, Nancy's maiden name is Whiteside. That's rad. You don't hear that too many.
I have to figure out who that is.
So moving right along, last week was the first.
Who watched the first episode of season 10?
Yeah, raise your hand.
Actually, we tried.
We tried. So there's a funny story about that. Actually, we were in Jamestown, New York when that aired, and we were checking with the hotel bar. We were checking
calling
with
up
other
all,
local
every
bars.
bar we could find.
Apparently, they don't get DIY as standard in Jamestown. So We
but yet,
feel
so
your
many people in
pain.
Jamestown had watched our show and knew of us somehow.
Right.
So
So
they get it in their homes. They just don't get it at their bars, I guess.
Well, they probably pay for the extra package.
So
which is
us
what I had
and
to
the
do
film
here.
crew and anyone we could grab headed to a bar, and we just cheersed and talked about the episode instead of watching
Yeah,
it.
we called the guy, and I guess he was scrolling through the guide, and he goes,
The
"Oh
bartender,
yeah, we have DIY," and so we're like,
cool.
8 of us came down.
Marched down.
That was the picture we posted on Instagram. And then we got there, and he actually clicked on it this time, and it wasn't there.
Yeah.
It said like you had to pay for this service. We were like, no. So for those of you
he got us good.
Yeah, right. And so we all ended up buying drinks. I think it was a marketing ploy. But for those of you that say that you're frustrated because you don't get that channel, we experienced your pain.
We know.
I don't even have cable at my house. I know I probably shouldn't say that, but streaming. I'd do the streaming options. You got Amazon and iTunes, and of course,
luckily you can get Salvage Dogs that way. Just not watch the premieres.
Right. And of course, I lived it. So
I know.
I'm tired.
Amen.
I'm tired just watching it again.
So for those of you who didn't watch, or who maybe did watch and are interested in more information, so the episode was in Blacksburg. It was a local job. We went to, it was Blacksburg basically.
About
there was
35, 40 minutes from Roanoke.
Yep.
Southwest.
That we dismantled the barn, but we did not tag it to be reassembled, which is so much easier.
Yeah, right.
There's no wrong way to get it, down and on the truck when you're doing that. Whereas if you tag it, you're gonna have to watch it, obviously, a lot more careful. For
sure.
And,
but so it was. For those of you that have just tuned in, I was planning on going live from my laptop and my camera, and had a bunch of cool pictures queued up. But that barn was a log barn encased in a timber frame.
Like a timber frame
building.
structure, correct.
So once we stripped away the timber framing, we were left with this beautiful, almost perfect cube of a log barn. And they were big logs. I mean, they're probably
24
by
feet long.
8 cross-sectional area.
Yeah, some of them are even bigger.
Bigger, probably 20. Yeah,
we still have a lot of them too, which you can go on our website. I think they're. Well, actually, the cool thing about our website is you can search based on the episodes. You can find season 10, first one that's on there, or Blacksburg Long Barn.
That was another thing I was going to flash up. If you go to blackdogsalvage.com, on the left-hand side of the screen, you see Shop Online. And then at the menu bar at the top on the right-hand side, you'll see As Seen on Salvage Dogs. Click on that, and you can shop by episode, by season. We've stayed pretty current with everything from season 10, and once we get the Jamestown stuff processed, we'll start a tab for season 11.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah. No rush. We'll but
still sell it.
That's how you can share. Even if you haven't seen the show, I realize how that part of our website could be a tad misleading, but it's the best. It's the most logical way that we have to organize all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and then again, you can always search just looking at doors, for example, and then you'll find the door that came from an episode. It's obviously going to be readily available in multiple places online, whatever avenue you choose.
Find us. Add us.
So, you want to talk about the build next, or we still have more to say about the barn?
Yeah. Well, so we took the barn all the way down. That was part of the plan. We had to leave the lot flat.
It took us at least a day and a half longer than we thought it would. You don't see any of that on camera.
Because we were sweeping for nails.
You'll never guess this, but guess who we left behind on site to finish the job?
Well,
I know you know.
Me and Robert, actually. And then I left Robert.
Robert can't,
Robert was the last one there.
Truly stayed and finished the job.
Mm-hmm. And he's a hard worker, man. Don't let the rumors get to you. We all.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he likes to get out from behind the desk, but he just doesn't have time to do it often.
Right.
But that week he had to. He had a contract to fulfill.
So this one was fun because we had a big bonfire going the whole time, and we saved, 70-80% of the wood, but there's a lot of trash and there was a lot of hay in the barn. So we had this big old bonfire going the whole time.
Still a lot of hay.
To get rid of the hay and get rid of the scrap wood. We didn't need it because it was warm anyway.
Yeah.
I wish we did this job in the winter because we would have had a bonfire to keep us warm. But we were hustling because at the end of that week, there was supposed to be a hurricane coming in. Spoiler, it never came in, but that was real. Like the forecaster said,
or something, but it wasn't.
There was a hurricane coming
went
in
south or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, Southern.
So we were hustling, but then also relieved when it didn't hit. So that was nice. But then, so that was the salvage from last week's episode, and the build, as you may have seen, was a desk made out of a Duke Beechcraft Duke airplane
Bonanza.
fuselage.
What a
standard.
What a way to start the season, Tay.
I know, right? Big barn salvage and a big build. We've had a few Beechcrafts actually. Y'all may remember we bought one at an auction at the
Salvaged it
Regional
on site.
Airport.
Yeah.
But this one, I can't remember how we got this one. Do you remember?
Your dad traded some cabinets that we got from what's the New Jersey? Trenton.
Sounds typical.
Yeah. He was like,
Here's
"Hey, I
some
got these
cabinets
cabinets.
for
You
part
got
of a plane."
Well, so it was only the fuselage, and it was already cut in two pieces. So
Right.
again, this could never have been an airplane again. Usually, if it ends up in our situation, it's already been a done deal.
Yeah, right.
It's
if we
fate
have
set.
it, it's probably not going to work again. So Dad came up with the idea of turning it into a desk, and so we cut a section out of the fuselage, mounted brackets to hold a live edge desktop, and then sort of filled in all the gaps and the crevices.
Made it so it would stand in balance.
Right.
and-
Made it to where it would stand up and filled in all the crevices with like laminated plywood. The guys got really creative with some laminated plywood. You could see all the end grain on it. I'm sure there were some close-up beauty shots when they were filming the reveal, but it was really cool. It was like black paint on the edges, and then like
It did look really cool.
the laminated edge of the plywood was layered and stacked up.
You could see it.
Heartland Salvage, what's up?
Janet. Hey.
Janet's watching. I'm so
Hope
glad
you're
you
doing
guys
okay.
are not closing the doors for good.
That's
exciting.
right. Keep in touch with us about that. We want to know more.
So, yeah, last week's episode was I think, a pretty powerful way to open up season 10.
That's right.
Thank you guys for watching the show. Whether you recorded it or watched it live, we're so thankful that you still find us at least somewhat interesting.
Something about the show speaks to you.
Yeah, whatever it is. Y'all let us know what your favorite part of the episode was. This is good data collection moment right here,
Yeah.
actually. Let us know which part you liked, which part you didn't like, how you would have done it better, because
Inevitably.
let's face it,
right.
people are going to let us know anyway.
So let's touch on tonight's new episode. So it's Wednesday. That means another new episode of Salvage Dogs.
It is 12:30 here on the East Coast, so we got 8.5 hours.
Right. Yeah. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Another new episode. DIY Network.
What's up, Dan? Good to see you,
I
buddy.
guess it makes it 8 Central, et cetera, et cetera. So tonight we're going to Alexandria, Virginia, to salvage a church.
Heck yeah, going north.
It's a cool church. It's a mid-century church. Not usual for us. Usually, a lot of churches we do are a lot older. And the situation behind this church was the congregation was still there and viable, but they had more building than they needed. And Alexandria, if you're familiar with DC and the capital, it's growing. Land is a premium, and they
for sure.
wanted to, all around them are these big high-rise, really nice apartment complexes. And so they wanted to build something on their land that would fit their use as well as the use of their neighbors. So they are going to build on a smaller section of the land, a church for them, a new chapel, and then the rest of the land is going to be affordable housing for the neighbors, the neighborhood.
And they get their cake and eat it.
It's a nice story.
Yeah,
It's a nice
eat it
story.
too.
Yeah.
And the church wasn't super old. I think it was built in the 60s,
Mhm.
right? It was kind of, again, I wish I had the pictures that I planned on showing you. It was very...
You'll just have to watch the episode.
Yeah, you'll just have to watch
We're here
it.
to talk about it next week. Hopefully we'll have better
So
internet luck next week.
some obstacles we've got to overcome in tonight's episode are a giant wooden cross
Mhm.
inside that we are actually just taking down for
them
the
to
congregation.
reuse.
But part of the deal nonetheless, and we got to do it. And then a giant metal cross on the very
steeple.
tippy top of the steeple that we have no idea how we're going to get down. So you're just going to have to tune in and find out. Bunch of cool contemporary pews, which we've mentioned in a previous live video. The warehouse crew set up sort of ironed out a method to quickly overhaul and turn them into
Already done.
beautiful
They're done. They're
usable
selling.
benches.
So get some for the gun.
That's right. That's right. Because as soon as the episode airs, hopefully,
Right.
we'll sell them all. So get some while you can. Yeah.
So what was the build for tonight?
Ooh, yes. So this is a trivia question for people out there. So like one of the first things we built here
Early
at Black Dog
Dog.
were these Zen bells. that we would take the big like metal oxygen tanks, cut the bottom off of them at different heights, because depending on the
Different
length, they
note.
would change the note, and we would hang them from different things like metal rings or pieces of old world iron. And when you hit them, they have this awesome, it's like a gong, but it's not, it's higher, and it's like a tuning fork where it'll go forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like one of those things where you would meditate. It reminds me of that bowl that
Yes,
you
sound
rub.
bowls.
Yeah. So we call them Zen bells, and we make them out of, derelict oxygen cylinders.
Tanks.
And we do that again tonight. But now that it's been so many years later, and we've got much more talent down in the shop, we crank it up to 11. We take it to the next level. So you guys need to tune in and see what we do. I believe it's still here for sale. So if you're local, it's sold.
Sold.
Oh,
It's gone. Actually,
missed
we were
it.
putting it on the truck today. It's gone.
Okay,
Well, we
just
can
sold.
make another one. We've done it, like Tay said, we've done it before, and we're just getting better at it. So,
Yeah,
Come
I
see us.
got beautiful pictures of that too. I wish I could show them.
Tay, I know he works so hard planning these live videos. You guys, I come in and totally just like riff, but like Tay is like he's methodical about it. Like, look at his list. He's got like charts and lists and
These are my plans.
Excel documents.
Like,
Obviously, he's got pictures. He does all the technology. He does all of this. Like a true round of applause for Tay.
I wish it worked. Thank you, though.
At least they can hear me because the sound is working. Yay!
Yeah. Like we literally
Yay!
have all this equipment set up, and I'm just leaning my cell phone on my laptop screen. So that's what we got. We got May May. Hi, May. Here you go.
Say hi.
Say hi,
Hi,
May May.
America. I
Hello.
love you, America.
Oh, May. Oh, May.
So
May.
funny. She won't stop climbing until she gets to the top. That's right.
May May. Do you have anything to add?
Just a couple snorts.
Do you guys listen? This is how you know May's happy. She kind of purrs.
She snorts. Oh, shoot. Talking.
May, you trying to come over here?
She wants to hug Tay.
Okay.
Oh, Dad.
Oh, May.
Oh, Dad.
Oh, May. Hi. Hi.
Pause for puppy break.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a whole agenda.
Sweet girl. She's like, it's been too long.
It was so Stella's over there on the floor, by the way, for anybody who's asking. She's cleaning herself.
Yeah.
For anybody who saw the picture on Instagram yesterday, this is what May does. I was trying to do a photo shoot on the front porch of the stone house, and she was like, "Not today."
When May needs a hug, nothing's gonna stop her from
Nothing.
getting that hug.
You are such a lover. Mwah.
Good girl.
So there you go. May, and
She's kind of like a cat, where if she doesn't want the love, she won't.
She
Woo!
will not accept it.
But
Thank
if
you,
she
May.
wants the love,
That's probably why my equipment doesn't work anymore.
well, now it's. Are we even using this?
Oh, it is shut off completely. It's not good. Whatever. No, we're not using it. We're using a cell phone. There you go. There's May. A little bit of May dog break. So tune in tonight to see the Alexandria Church and a Zen bell, a fancy Zen bell. And so again, tonight at 9, DIY Network, new episode. If you stick around for 9:30, they'll air the episode that aired last week. So if you missed last week's episode, you can catch it again tonight at 9:30 after the newest episode of season 10.
Sign up for emails from us if you haven't already.
Yes, it's very easy to do. You go to our website, and I think it prompts you.
We ask you everywhere
already.
you go. Yeah.
But if not, you go in the
Sign
top
up for
right
newsletter.
corner, and it says sign up for email, and you get all kinds of updates. Krista works very hard to send out updates, and so does Betsy. We actually put a lot of work into our email blasts. We try to update people regularly with things going on, so that if you miss these live streams or any other chances we get to talk to you, then hopefully you are
What the
keyed
dogs are up to.
in there. So
what's going on this weekend? If you remember, we've got a big marathon in Roanoke this weekend.
well,
The biggest, actually the toughest road marathon.
Yeah, the
And-
Blue Ridge Marathon.
That's right.
It goes all around town. It goes up Mill Mountain, which
Sponsored by Foot Levelers.
isn't a huge mountain, but if it's part of a marathon,
Well, that's just the first mountain.
it's long.
You run up Mill Mountain, and then you run up Roanoke Mountain.
Bent Mountain
Roanoke.
first, though. Bent
Mill Mountain.
Mill Mountain.
Roanoke
Okay.
Mountain, and then Peakwood, which is not a mountain, but it's a neighborhood, and it's a mountain, but it's not the name of a mountain. I don't know if that mountain has a name.
Yeah.
3 mountains. It's
Well-
supposedly they call it the toughest road marathon, I think, because it has the most elevation gain throughout. So they
That's
go around
insane.
downtown, which you don't think of as being hilly, but they will turn a corner just to find a hill. I mean, you are going up hills the whole time. It's insane. Or down.
That sounds awful.
It's awful. It's awful. I've got a couple friends running this weekend.
I do
Our good
too,
friend
actually.
John Peak is running. I think it might be his first. I'm not sure. It might be his first.
Good for John.
So good luck for John Peak.
Thoughts to the Peak family.
That's right. Who John used to work here. I think he was in the very first episode of Salvage Dogs ever.
Yeah.
Which
oh,
is
yeah.
cool.
God, look, John was so funny.
Yeah.
Still is.
And John's brother-in-law is running the double marathon.
Dude, there are some weird people
That
out
is
there.
amazing.
I tell you what, I got some friends running
Got to
it
start
too.
at 2 a.m. to do that.
So there's a section of the marathon that goes by Black Dog. I think I found a speaker the other day. We're gonna have music playing on the loading dock as you run by. Probably a water station.
Yeah.
I'll
So if you're
probably
visiting
stop
us,
by for a little bit.
yeah.
But
If you're visiting Black Dog that day, be sure to look for that spot, and you can help us cheer on the runners.
totally. Oh, while we have you guys here, we will also be going live today at 5 p.m. Eastern time on the DIY Network
With the boys,
Facebook
the
page
big boys.
with the whole crew. So the DIY Network, for some reason, has trusted us with the login information
They're
for
crazy.
their Facebook page. If you're watching from
Hopefully they don't
DIY
regret it.
right now, I'm totally kidding. It is in good hands. My buddy Dan.
If we can figure out
My
the.
buddy Dan said, "I don't even run to get a snack." I'm with you, dude. I run, only if something's chasing me.
Yeah.
Um,
So tune in again at 5 at the DIY Facebook page for us again
us
with
plus
the big
3,
boys. Yeah.
or at least 2.
Yeah. Will be fun. We'll talk some more about the new episode.
Maybe I'll do it with my fancy rig working properly. We'll see. Also, tomorrow, Thursday, April 11th, is the celebrity tip-off.
Oh my gosh,
in Roanoke
yes!
at the Shenandoah Club. I've been writing a small speech, which is intimidating. But
just small. All you need
tiny
is a few
speech.
minutes.
I've got auctioning off a custom video production package from my production company. And
Dark
hopefully
Studios.
it's a $750 value, and hopefully it raises much more than that. Very excited to try my hand at serving a 4-course meal. Madison and I think we're kind of
Duos.
killing it as
Yeah,
a dynamic
we
duo
already
right
are.
now.
Mhm.
We got a lot of tips, and we're going to
Already got a
get
lot
more
of
that
tips.
night.
Yeah.
So excited for that. I'm going to strap on my apron and get to work. So we got some questions that we've corralled. I'm going to just look through here.
Oh, okay. Kathy Overbeck asked if anyone has any idea where all the pictures of past governors and senior regents are. Please let me know. I think somebody else asked this question too.
Yeah.
I think that she was referring to the Moose Lodge. And to be honest, there was some pictures. Remember when the pool table room on the wall, there was like some pictures of people?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if that's what that is. It's either still there or it's gone. I know that doesn't help you at all, but we didn't take them. So I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you.
Right. We
place
purposely
them, but
didn't want to take any of that
It's very
stuff.
possible that they're still there.
Should we tell them to contact Gina with
Or-
the land bank?
I guess if you're
just the
still
Chautauqua
looking, maybe
County
let me
Land Bank?
know and I'll get in touch with Gina.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were there only for the architectural stuff. and
Or I'll just
stayed
try to
away from
answer
all
that question with Gina.
Let's see.
Headed our way for a road trip. Sweet.
Janine Conley asked, "Hey, how tall are you?" I am 6'7" or 8, depending on how.
What time of day? If he's at the end of the day, he starts
yeah. The world's pretty.
7 a.m.
The world's pretty low down, so I start to slouch after a while. But
okay, this is cool. So Kathleen Boyd was watching our live stream last week from Zimbabwe, where she's volunteering at an animal
Whoa.
sanctuary. I would love to do that. That's so cool. So thanks for tuning in. I mean, God
That's
only knows what time it
amazing.
was over there, and how cool that you were watching us in Africa.
yeah, she must have been up crazy. Well, maybe she watched it retroactively.
True.
But, I don't see many more on here. I'm not going to bore you guys with reading a bunch of things.
We got a lot of love from last week's episode live, and so thank you.
Totally.
Someone watching from France. Merci beaucoup, Eric.
We should do a crossover episode with Barnwood Builders, says Jim Larson. A lot of people earlier when we were talking about the barn, they said you should reach out to them. We will continue to. There was talk for a bit about doing a crossover episode, but really
not up to us.
It's not up to us. So if you want to
I
see
totally
a crossover
agree.
between Salvage Dogs and Barnwood Builders,
They're so nice.
get on the
Those guys are
keyboard,
so
y'all.
great. And
Blow
they
up their Facebook page.
obviously know what they're doing, so we would love to have their input and learn a thing or two from them.
Totally. Dad's met Mark. I haven't.
I met Mark.
You met Mark?
Mhm.
Cool. He's a super nice guy. I've heard. That's all I've heard about him.
Yeah, he's kind of like your dad. Like he's really like just naturally funny.
Yeah.
I think.
Right. But that's all I can think of. I apologize for those of you that suffered
We're here in
through
the
the beginning
and, yeah.
craziness. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. We try to do our best to bring you up to speed. Now that the new season is airing, we will kind of continue the format of recapping last week's episode,
Giving little
and
previews.
teasing next week's episode. Hopefully
always,
with pictures again,
Exactly.
which is
Oh, did you want some of that?
kind of the
stuff?
point. But yeah, so
You guys are the best. We have the best fans.
We-
Thank you so much.
we really do. You guys are really greetings from Serbia.
Serbia,
Speaking
oh
of
my
which,
gosh.
speaking of
Wow.
great fans, that's crazy, man. So
Loving the
put
sunglasses.
your sunglasses.
Oh, thanks. They're
Hollywood.
prescription, so
Well, on that note, great time to end.
it's time to go. Let's
Yeah.
get back to work. I can just hear him now.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Celebrity tip off tomorrow at 5:30. Alexandria Church being salvaged tonight at 9. Stay tuned to DIY Network's Facebook page today at 5 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing a live show with the rest of the crew. And enjoy the
That's
episode
pretty
tonight.
good. Yeah.
There's your recap.
Thank you guys. Love you. Have a
Bye
great
now.
week.
Mwah.